We were sitting in the desert about 18 months ago out in Joshua Tree, started kicking the ball around saying, wouldn't it be nice if we could go back to Tampa, our Tampa Bay area, and film in our own hometowns.
I moved down here a few years ago. I spent most of my life in New York City.
When I moved to Tampa about 6 years ago, I haven't done any productions in Tampa. I was kind of retired from the film business.
Then when I got the call to be a part of Black Veil,
Josh Long, our line producer, talked to me about it and suggested that I reach out to Dan and Nick.
I wasn't able to make the auditions for this, and I just reached out to him on Facebook and asked him if there was a role for me, if he'd keep me in mind.
I got a phone call from Sean Keller.
I think it was a text, something with the phone, and said he has this opportunity for me.
And I was like, well, you gotta have something good. I don't need to just go do little video shoots.
Asking me what I was doing next week, and he was kind of low tone. And
that's when he told me Dan Myrick was coming to town, and they're gonna do this whole episodic thing. And I thought, you know, Dan, I could go work for Dan.
To work with Dan is just simpatico.
It was just really special. Like my homeboy's back in town. I know so many of my friends are on this.
My best friend Josh, Andrew, our key grip. I've known them forever. This is our family, both on set and off set.
The guys I brought to the table I've known for a long time, worked with me on several other projects unrelated to film.
And you texted to me, so he's like, here, put your number in my phone. Okay. He was already in his phone as like Blair Witch guy, okay, and he didn't even work on the Blair Witch.
And they knew I was an actress and aspiring to do bigger things. And so when audition time came around, they were like, hey, if we set you up for an audition, do you want to do it?
I went, well, of course.
You're facing it prominently for 3 seconds.
Okay.
What? Yeah, we got a deal. So. We're going to hold on her for a bit. So I'll cue you. You walk in this way.
The series was specifically built and designed so that we could shoot over a period of 12 months and continually bring people, the same people or new people, back down to Hillsborough County.
I know Christian because somehow he knows everyone in the entire world.
I mean, we're Tampa, we're small, like we know each other, and we film everything together.
We're a small family, so sometimes we try to keep it within the family.
Cool. So you're like a little fraternity nephew.
Yeah, I guess.
Dude, that is so cool. I love it.
So we know each other really well. We know our workflow.
Camera speeds. Take 2, marker. Roll sound.
Audio speeds.
Camera speeds. Take 4, marker.
We found a really nice mix of personalities that complemented each other on set, above the line to below the line.
Getting to meet Dan and our director, and Nick Matthews, our DP.
And then he introduced me to Dan. So that's when I got a vision of Dan's vision of what he wanted to accomplish and how grandiose it was. And so that's when it got kind of exciting, and that's when I jumped back in. And I know Josh through the film office, and then a lot of the others I've met, but Josh really crewed up and brought everybody together.
I think that's probably the most exciting part, is meeting new people, working with new people, developing new relationships and friends.
Play it smart today. Don't be stupid. Don't be in a rush. We're pretty tight, so just take our time and be safe.
I showed up on set, and one of my favorite makeup artists was there, so we had a good time, and I met the wardrobe girl. I hadn't worked with her before, and she was outstanding.
Yeah, I always try everything. If my actor's gonna have it, I'm gonna try it.
I'm Joe, wardrobe.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, there we go. There we go, never mind.
I met so many people for the first time on this film that I would totally work with again.
To have that kind of a family environment where we're all committed to the same cause. We all know we're underfunded. We all know we're crazy for even trying to do this.
As my role for the set production assistant, I think I managed it well because at the end of the day, everyone was satisfied with how fast and quick I was able to process whatever they needed on set.
Take 6, marker.
Although I was a department of 1 when I usually would have 2, I had a lot of help. Our PAs were absolutely phenomenal. They really pulled through for me, helping me move gear. I was really grateful for that.
Even someone came up to me the other day and said, We have great PAs. I've never been on a shoot where every position has really, really good people. So I'd like to say we're very blessed and fortunate.
I don't know what I would have done without production assistants to keep me sane and be my friend during that time and everything.
Like, I had some challenges. There was definitely some times where I felt really like secluded. I had to do like all the lathing myself. Yes. I don't know, you can try, right? All you can do is try.
Sure.
Thank you.
Oh, I have wardrobe right here.
Yeah, you see that. That looks weird.
What about here?
And like reviewing the scripts, all the sides. It was busy. It was really busy, but I resolved it with just being around an amazing crew. I mean, I was making a movie.
Son, you rolling?
Yeah.
Camera speeds. Scene 25 Foxtrot, take 1, marker. Whatever.
I think I got it.
Everybody quiet, please. We're rolling.
All right, I'm doing 20 seconds starting now.
I mean, other than the trains at the locations, I've been really pleased with the authenticity and the receptiveness of the community.
We filmed a lot in Plant City, and having their excitement and support around it and just the whole kind of Tampa Bay area, just really excited to see this Black Veil project in their backyard.
Just to host us in their houses, and you just don't have that in a lot of places.
So the only challenge was actually just getting to Plant City.
It's been challenging. I left Los Angeles where everyone knows the film industry, and now that we got cameras rolling and people see that the production's happening, we're just going back to our friends that all of them are disenfranchised with living in Los Angeles, and people want to come home. They have family here. They'd love to come back here, even if it's not full time, but to come back even for a few months a year to work on a series so they can spend time with their family.
It just really was going to be about finding a really talented crew from the area and really talented actors and actresses that were okay working well below their rate.
That's really what we're doing. We're just looking for other Florida natives that are interested in coming back and rebuilding the film incentive and rebuilding the industry that's been decimated the last 8 years.
This is good final position, Dan. Oh, we're going to see new blood on her.
Do I need to push this back in?
So unfortunately, while we have the great camaraderie and we have all the great moments, it's been a project. It's been a quick, fast one.
While long, went really quickly. And I've been on sets where 12-hour days felt like 24.
Apparently I get to be Sally's stand-in.
What? I hear my name.
I'm talking about how wonderful you are.
Actually, making me the dead body. Oh, I don't know. Freak me out.
You could have fun. I guess we're seeing you tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks. One more hug without the face mask.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh.
You rock. Thank you. We'll do some more. All right. For many more episodes to come.
Sweet. I have been acting professionally since I was 16, so I've been doing this a very long time.
I've been doing this for 25 years.
You know, been doing it for over a decade.
Been doing this for over 20 years.
I've been in the industry for over 10 years, and in those 10 years...
I started 3 years though,
cool.
professionally. Each time I go on set, you know, it's another experience and it's always different.
You learn something new from each film, especially in the art department. I'll learn a new way to hang something, rig something.
So what I'm looking at doing is putting a hose back here. Fill in the water through.
I'll learn a whole new movement that I can use to blend to my art.
You know, like anything I do, it influences my process. It makes me a better filmmaker. I'm always making course corrections and adjustments as a director with each project I do.
A lot of respect, and you all learn from each other and you all grow.
Okay, yeah, let me, we want to do a reverse on this. That's what I'm trying to. Once we do this shot, which is on a 100 lens, I would like to get it coming out of the car.
In this project, I've learned new hanging techniques. I've also used hanging techniques that I haven't used in 5 years, 15 projects ago.
Up the hanging rig that I got. Okay, talk to Dave too. I'll send the gaffer.
It's funny, each location presents itself with issues, and I may not have that issue, and I may not use the techniques I use today, till 5 projects from now, but it's something you'll always remember.
This will certainly help shape how I produce things in the future. And just like being a carpenter or anything else, the more stuff you do, the better at it you get. The combination of being able to shoot in Florida and do a horror anthology sort of rooted in Southern Gothic aesthetic would be really interesting.
But this was the first major film that's come here outside of the Hallmark channels. Much larger production, still an independent film, but a much larger budget. The biggest problem is always money.
The biggest challenge was our budget.
Every picture is like trying to push a boulder up a hill when you're trying to get financing. So that's certainly one of the biggest challenges is getting the money together.
And as a producer, understanding budgets and having to go out, part of my responsibilities is
finding that delicate balance between budget and what we're trying to execute on set.
More money gives you better, effects, better actor, just better everything, bigger production. All of the productions are reliant on private funding, which are coming from my connections. And that's a heck of a lot of stress, man.
Christian raises the money, and so he may have had challenges that I was unaware of. And Dan brought the script, and then I just tell people how to spend it.
I've had to spend the majority of my time educating potential investors on the actual business, on what the film process looks like. How does one go about getting a return on it? Feature productions have been gone for 8 years now since the tax incentive went away. It helps the economy, but from a sustainability standpoint, walking into pitch somebody on money to invest in a very speculative business such as film. And when we're rolling cameras 52 weeks a year, or projects either we're prepping or rolling or in post for 52 weeks a year, is important to gaining a foothold with the municipalities, which are county commissioners and city council and the governor, so that we can start clearing some of those hurdles. It was a lot easier than I had anticipated working with the municipality, and Tyler Martinelich is so open and so easy, and he was very supportive, and he helped clear the way for me. He's the first time I've met a film commissioner that also has a producing background, so he gets it, and he helped immensely with the permitting, and his office made everything seamless for us.
It's helping to build up film in Tampa.
Our job now is to attract talent back to Hillsborough County, and I mean crude talent. Our ultimate goal is to get a tax incentive back here in the state, specifically for the $1 to $5 million independent films.
Well, if you're in the motion picture business and there's no state film incentives, you leave. But you come back when you want to do what you want to do.
So instead of just doing 4 weeks and having somebody come down for 4 weeks and then heading back up to Georgia when they're really a Florida native, doesn't help us.
Do whatever I can, and hopefully it'll lead, like I can get on board the next episode and then the next one after that, so on and so forth.
We have great people here in town to work with, so I'm very confident that as we have the right projects to work on, the execution will be there.
The only way to keep Florida natives here are year-round productions. Had continuous productions been going on, they would have had an understanding. Instead, I'm starting at square one on everything. So if you're going to come into a new market and try to educate people, it helps immensely that you have a guy that's known for underspending.
The concept was Dan had an idea that he wasn't going to tell us about until we actually were ready to go into production. So I got the script the day we greenlit the production. I hadn't even seen it. When I read it, I remember talking to Dan. I'm like, hey, Dan, you know what our budget is? He goes, yeah. I said, you're kind of really pushing it here. This is really an aggressive shoot. And he says, oh, I know.
My partner, Dan Myrick, is considered the most efficient filmmaker in history.
We knew we didn't have enough money, and we knew I don't sacrifice quality. I had never met Dan before this, but knowing his reputation, he doesn't either.
All right.
What else? What do we got?
We got Astras, yeah, we got highlights,
We have Astras?
yeah.
Did Dave order Astras?
So we just got to make sure that the thing is running when the game's going.
So on our project, we had the Area Alexa and the Cook lenses that Nick got for us, which was a big get. We got great cooperation from Cook on those. That was amazing.
It's great if the lenses were free.
How do we want to That was an equipment wish list that we were able to pick off.
Where do you stick that down?
They're right by the cart. They're on the cart, actually.
Getting things moving for real, not just talking about it. And it's always a challenge. I've never known it to be easy.
Camera rolls. Take 2, marker.
Hey, now that's his best boy grip, man. He's on the truck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the budget's always going to be the biggest concern, and the locations.
Where we're going to be able to get 12 locations into a 1-week shoot.
We shot a film in 5 12-hour days, which
in layman terms, we are moving you in, we are decorating your house like you've lived there for 5 years, and we move you out all within a 12-hour time frame. So that alone is tough.
Ideally, the film should have been shot in 8 to 10 film days instead of cramming it into 5 days. That was very ambitious.
On an independent budget, first episode leading out with the most challenging story. We could have definitely done a story with less moving parts.
When I first got to the set, we had this great, wonderful team who had scouted and found this location.
We had the technical scout win, myself, the director, G&E, camera, and we go to each location to talk, and sound, of course. We all talk about the problems that a location may face and what we're going to do every day to combat that.
What 18-wheeler is going to pull in right when we say action?
I'm not even going to jinx it with that.
All right.
Well.
See you next day. Hold up, we got a bogey.
That's a good timeless car. Just tell him to stop.
What did I say?
All right, here we go, guys.
We've been sitting here for just 30 minutes and we're going to get a bogey as soon as we roll.
Having continuous dialogue with the DP and the director.
Communicating with your cinematographer and actors is crucial.
Can I just see you in on?
Yeah, kind of the way you walked, I think you went this. What is it?
Do you want to take a look at that, Dan?
Yeah. All right, back to 1 por favor.
I think if we're doing something where we sort of start, we start kind of here.
Really quick, where do you need practicals for the night shot? Okay, well, I got one there, I got this one, so I got a third one. I'm gonna either use this lamp or another one. So if I need a 15-foot truck, that's an extra $400 immediately looped into my budget.
Somebody's going to pay for it if it gets blood on the apple box. Then have to buy a new apple box. If you take the blood, you get it on the apple box, and you go in a fancy house and there's carpet, and you get the apple box on the carpet, and the blood gets on the carpet, then you're buying new carpet.
Andrew's made all the mistakes before.
You're going to buy me a new carpet. I'm not going to buy you anything.
All the challenges are normal for a low-budget shoot where you expect to have big-budget quality.
I need to make sure each location has a couch, a coffee table, end tables, lamps, certain basic items.
Since I'm playing an evangelical preacher, to have a real church and to have a little bit of a congregation. Everybody did such a great job finding those really authentic locations. It's Florida, so we had some change in light from clouds to sun, but I think that was part of the artistic expression.
Working on my one-handed close hitch, not going very well.
They had to fake daylight outside, so that rig was a bit more complicated than normally we had on the set.
It's like bubbled up, so I don't want to cut, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I definitely don't want to cut that. Is that a different piece?
Yeah.
It's very normal for low-budget filmmaking to have those challenges, but it's not normal to come off the set with the level of quality that we have. So Black Veil, it looks good.
We'll probably need to send units above the window.
Most likely 100.
So as cool as it looks to the eye, once you really get it on camera, that's when the magic happens. And once we actually get our props, our set dressing, and all that kind of stuff in, see the director light up to be ecstatic, that's the approval I'm looking for. And that once I see that smile, I know I've done right and we've accomplished our goal.
So most of my job was making sure Dan was happy every day, which is pretty easy.
He's a wonderfully giving, wonderfully focused director.
There's some challenging personalities in this industry.
Challenging personalities.
Yes,
We don't want any of that. This is hard enough making 12-hour days.
It's Dan's vision for launching this new thing called Black Veil. And
since I work with him and my job is to produce his film,
it's my job to make sure his vision comes true.
He was very pleased, and I think he made everyone aware of how pleased he was with the production's outcome.
This looks great, guys.
Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, got you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Hey,
We're about there.
Thank you.
Get close.
And Dan would do a great job of picking a location. Right now we're filming at Cash's place, and I could have not asked for a better location for Cash's place.
The garage was really good. It's well lit. I love the lighting on this thing.
Looks a beast.
Yeah.
It's really looking good.
It's got great lighting, great lenses. I mean, the thing, it looks good.
Yeah.
Performances were great. Cash really did a good job yesterday. We did get a lot done. It was good. The whole evening was good, and the performances were great. Everybody.
Did you watch it in the dailies?
Yeah, I was watching them with Doug. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it looks great.
Okay, good.
I haven't. The garage.
It's like every. I know it's really soaking it up. Kind of.
We're all scared of our own art because we can't use money to fix problems. We have to use our talent. We have to use our creativity. So I think we're doing actually a really good job there.
You want the dirt on there?
Zach in his art department, if you saw some of the before pictures of what places looked like and then the after pictures when they were done, and then the amount of money they had to do that, it just kind of blows my mind at the talent he brought every day.
They helped even facilitate items needed to make this film more authentic.
Yesterday, a friend of a friend, I thought it was going to be easier to find, like an old beater. No, it was not easy to find.
This, as much as I could clean it up and age it, I almost like the concept because shitty car for a shitty person. And then stays timeless.
Yeah, well this, I mean, when we see this thing, I'm going to try to avoid shooting this back until we're at Nana's house.
Oh, okay.
So then we can play all this up, right?
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So it's kind of worked for us because the side doesn't look so bad.
No, not at all.
This is the car as it was sold.
That's cool. I love these. These are amazing.
Yeah, yeah. That was standard issue back in the day.
It's really cool.
And now it's an upgrade, right?
It's designed to be sort of like a nondescript, modest income vehicle for someone like Josette would own. In that sense, it has the right amount of character.
People have certain items a lot of times that we can borrow, but the problem is
the lack of a studio, a permanent studio here in Florida or in the Tampa, Hillsborough area.
We just don't have the luxury of having the accessibility to certain equipment, especially when it comes to the art side. We just don't have rental houses.
It's an issue. In the event that we get bad weather, I can't do anything about that.
We can back the truck. There are pop-up tents. If it starts coming down or if it starts raining, reach out to somebody.
Like, just to make sure we have no issues.
Like that.
Can you hold it out a little bit, Douglas, so I can hit it?
Just try swinging through. Don't hit her, obviously, but just go like that.
I can go through without her. Without her.
Okay, try
It's
again.
better if you're striking down this way.
Yeah.
Because then we see that. Yes.
Make sure I'm there.
Yeah, and you just have to react.
We're here, burning money.
I'm not really sure what we're waiting on.
If I need to bring an item, I need to store it, I need to place it. It's an in and out every day.
Dan, my organized initiative down here is to build a sustainable infrastructure.
My hope is that it's also a calling card for Florida itself, that we want to bring production back into the area.
The whole impetus behind this film was to get cameras rolling consistently in Hillsborough County.
This is a project that people can be proud of and point to and say this is what we're capable of doing in Florida, and I think that's very doable once things get going again.
We're going to be able to build a really nice team of people and be able to train the next generation of people, and that's really what the series is about.
It's a high quality project, a really good looking project, a professionally done project that everybody can use to help get them more work down the road.
I know it's a lie too.
Right. So you want to keep it that way?
I mean, we can try.
People have started to treat me like a real working actress since I've been announced that I've been doing this. I've been performing all my life, and this is the first time that people are taking me seriously. So that is what this means to me.
Films are the sexy part of it. However, the sustainable part of it is working with the universities here and having that aspiring talent come out and work on real life productions and getting real-time experience. It gives me an opportunity to get first crack at the best talent in the universities.
It has shaped my career path more professionally, I would say, because it's helping me build more connections relationship-wise with other people within the local Tampa area.
In terms of building an industry back here in Florida, you need the younger people and you need the sustainable business, which is the educational component.
Because I go to school currently, I have a schedule that I was only able to go after a certain while.
so I was only available for 2 days. So I wish I was there, as my role to be there from the first day and have all the hours to able to just help out in any way that I could.
With all the film schools that are in the state of Florida, there's no productions here. Everybody's graduating and leaving to Georgia or to Louisiana or out west, and we're constantly reloading our talent. You're never going to build an industry without having the support of the institutions.
Ultimately, what we really want to do is kind of deliver the best product, make sure we're right on par, make sure that they're getting what they need to execute their vision to the best of their ability.
Unfortunately, due to our schedules, I was not able to get to these locations.
We could not even see this till today.
So we're split in 5 different directions, all trying to converge back to the same place.
And if we don't do that, then that's where we fail as a production unit.
When we came here, I think our biggest issue was whether or not we'd be able to fill the key roles, and if we weren't going to be able to fill the key roles, how many would we have to pull from outside of the area? And we were able to field about 92%, I think it is, local crew, and only had to pull a few people from Los Angeles and Atlanta.
Coming from a different city, you always wonder who you're going to meet and what quality they'll have.
We had the availability of the crew when we did, and we only had a week to do it.
I'm really, really, really proud of what we accomplished. We didn't have enough money. Everyone pitched in. No one complained.
The actors were unbelievable, and as you know, a number of them were local, and I mean local in the state of Florida or local to Tampa.
Thank you. All right, guys, that's a picture wrap. Or Duncan, guys, that's a picture wrap.
Yeah!
Y'all bloody, get out. All right, guys, that's a wrap on Miss Sally, guys. All right.
Generally speaking, I try to have a good time. I mean, we're all making movies and we're all sort of like playing pretend.
I've already told you these changes.
What changes are you talking about?
The car chase scene. Good. Are you out of your mind?
You said car chase and I said, I don't remember reading that.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. You gave me many heart attacks.
What part of the script did I miss?
I was like, what are you talking about?
So scene 26, I think it's scene 26.
I moved that to daytime. So that's at Joseph's apartment. So you want to move that up?
If we can.
We can. I mean,
yeah, it's a simple, yeah.
It's serious business on one side of the scale, but at the other side,
it's me having fun, getting back to work. It's getting involved in the local community here.
Working in this community is the best thing that can happen here.
And that was extremely important, knowing that we would be counting on the community for a lot of favors.
We can find favors, we can find everything, but filming in Florida is hard.
Are you kidding? To work here in Tampa Bay? Where do I go?